We're here in Prague, and unlike any other vloggers from here, oh, you should see this, I'm going to ask the question, should you visit Prague? Because I remember Prague. I was here first time in 1995, fresh out of the Soviet Union. I have been here many times since then, but I haven't been back since COVID. And from what I hear, it has changed. And we saw it when we arrived yesterday. We walked down in the old town and it was crammed full of people. So I'm going to ask the question, can it redeem itself instead of this mess? Can we find places that are not overcrowded, that are worth coming here for? So we are started by heading up and seeing I just have to have the name, Petrin Tower, which is a tower resembling a little bit the Eiffel Tower in a way smaller scale, but have a great look over Prague. The bad thing, the funicular, the mountain railway that usually takes one up there, it's out of commission because they're renovating it, so you have to walk up the stairs. Hopefully it will discourage many of the tourists. But damn, it's hard to get up here. It's very steep. This was the steepest part as of yet, but we still haven't reached the top. Any other tourist coming up here without breaking a sweat, without having to stop a million times, well, I tip my cap I don't have for you, because it's damn hard. And I think I'm in worse shape than ever. Just a thought. First redemption down the tower right here, which they don't want me to film. They told me to pack down the camera, so I snuck one with me up there, and I took these amazing shots from this great tower, and almost no tourists. Might be because of the funicular that is down, so not that many people get up here, and might be because the time is 10:35 a.m. and most of the really crowded tourists only get here after 12. I'm not saying that they get here, I'm saying it might be because of that. But we can redeem the town some more, I think. But that is the first star. Let's see how many stars we can get, and I'll count down a star for every overcrowded place, which means the atomic clock and the Charles Bridge is already -2 stars. So we have to get up we're at -1 now, and I want this to be a 5-star experience. So let's see if we can redeem Prague. The second place I want to show you is right around the corner from the tower that they don't want me to film in, but I did anyways. But here I'm allowed to film, and it is something devoted to a Dane, so of course it has a special meaning to me. But there's more to it than that. So this is what I want to show you. And when I talk Dane and I talk Prague, well, who other can I talk about than Tycho Brahe? And Tycho Brahe was a Danish astronomer, scientist. He lived down here, and the observatory was originally built to help him in his studies, because that was the price the king at the time paid for getting Tycho Brahe from Denmark down here. There's much more to his story, and I will be exploring that when I'm returned to Denmark and explore his life in Denmark. But for that you have to be subscribed and click that bell notification icon, and I don't promise you when it's going up. But for now we are here in the observatory, and most importantly the quiet observatory garden. There's almost no people here. 1 more star. So now we are at 0 stars. Can we keep this up? Can we make it a 5-star experience? Even a 6-star experience? Maybe a 10? Let's try. Or I'm going to fail miserably with the next point only being a -1 star. Stay tuned to find out. we just went for a little walk down to Strahov Stadium. Unfortunately, you cannot get in there. I have been all the way around and I cannot find an proper entrance where I can show you the stadium. But there's something else special here. You would think this was a big monument. No, it's a ventilation tower. But it's special, it's beautiful, and it is artisanal. And that I like. So an art piece of a ventilation tower. Definitely worth getting up here. Also for another reason. One moment, I just have to head over there and show you. But while I head over there, the stadium right behind me, the Strahov Stadium, it was built to house synchronized gymnastics in the Soviet Union. Yeah, quite a big stadium for that. But let's just head over to what I want to show you. This is what I wanted to show you. A great view. And it's free. Yeah, a free view. We like that. Is it worthy of a star? No. Is it a tourist attraction? Not really. Should we give it a star because there's almost no people here except someone on bikes that's yelling out loud? Hopefully my mic don't catch it. Well, it is worth getting up here if you are up in the area. Otherwise I wouldn't travel for it. So let's not give it a star for this. But let's head for something that is worth a star if there's no people there. Walking in some part of the old city, there's still a lot of room, breathing room. It actually feels quite nice, but we are headed towards the central square right now to see how bad is it. And for reference, the time is now 1:25 p.m. Cute little dog. Yeah. Be careful not to hit animals like that. So keep your wits about you and don't drive those death machines there. You know, those electric scooters. First of all, it's destroying every city they're in, so... So the main square, it wasn't as filled as I remember, and there were actually fewer people than what we saw yesterday. So I will give it a 1 star because there was a breathing room, I could see the church, I could see the Jan Hus statue, I could see the church spires, I could stand in my own thoughts, I didn't feel pushed around like I did yesterday. So we are up at 1 star. So no longer a 0-star experience, but a 1-star experience. But can we get it up to those 5 stars? Let's continue exploring this beautiful city and see if we can raise it a bit and find places without too many tourists. Time for a little McDonald's story. Because when I was in Prague the first time back in 1995, you can really feel that it was a country fresh out of the Soviet Union. Because back then we got 2 of these paper napkins per person, nothing more. You couldn't get any more. Today you can get plenty of them, but there's still something remaining. We purchased Dubai donuts and they came in this little bag, 1 in each bag. and no bigger than this. This big bag and one in each. So there's still some remnants of that thinking, but they moved a long way from that. I just think it's funny. Now I'll put in some more 1995 things as I remember them as they pop up. But for now, let's head back out to the city and explore it some more. The John Lennon wall. You can't even see John Lennon anymore on this wall, and it is so overpainted. It is also crowded. I keep having to move around because of the sheer amount of people here. So yeah. Is it a -1 star? I would say so, because it has been overpainted. You can't see the beautiful art that once was here, but I have a picture of it right here. It was the art that was original here, and that was definitely worth seeing. This one, it's a disgrace. So we are back at -1 star. It's a long way up to the 5-star experience here in Prague. Quick little side note, trams and buses might not be faster, but they have air condition. So on a hot day like today, where it's 31 to 35 degrees, the trams, the buses, they are a great way to get out of the heat and just sit down a little bit and save your steps. But most of the town is walkable. That's at least a plus in my book. I don't know how many stars we're up to, but I'll keep track over here. So first conclusion on Prague is there's plenty of tourists that you can't avoid here in Prague, but you can find alternatives. Some of the alternatives I can recommend to Prague is actually Brno. I will link it down below and up in the corner. Then there's also Krakow and Wrocław. I will link to the videos where I visit that down below. But yeah. Let's head for the next destination, see if it can count up. If you have any ideas to anything that can count up that I forgot or missed or something like that, write down in the comments. I might be going down here some time again and see if that can count up. So the Prague Castle, should you head up here? Oh, look at this. Lots of breathing room, lots of space. So yes, it's of course you should hit up here. And it's a star up. 1 more star. Whee! Yeah. And one of the best things right up here, you'll find Starbucks. Starbucks in great surroundings, and there are plenty of other areas we are going to see. Or I have the next area spotted at least. Should also be a star up. How many stars we're up to? I've forgotten, but keeping track right over here. So yeah, let's head out there, let's see it. Another great thing about this place is it doesn't feel like, well, an amusement park as the center of the city does. Because the center of Prague feels like an amusement park. There's small souvenir stands all over, there are people selling pictures, there are small cars driving around, there's a lot of amusement park feeling about it, but not up here. Here it actually feels like a historic site with a touristy feel. There's still a lot of tourists, but well, we don't go to Prague to get rid of the tourists. So we found this little market, definitely a 1 star up. I don't know how often it is here, but it is definitely worth it. And we got a little focaccia, just a little snack. Alright, so one thing that really counts up the stars is cheap shopping, and there's plenty of it here in the Czech Republic. I just bought 2 trousers, 2 t-shirts for 1,500 Czech crowns. It is this much in euro and dollars, so yeah, fairly cheap. And it is good quality. It's from Marks and Spencer's. I don't really know the brand, but the quality feels good. And that's the important part, and it's way cheaper. Cheap t-shirt in Denmark costs double that. So yeah, another markup for the Czech Republic. I have stopped counting, but I will show here how many stars we're up to. Alright, one of the redeeming things is this island here we are on, where they have these Prague water rats people keep talking about. It is actually called nutria, and they are quite an interesting little animal. Here I have some pictures of it with someone feeding them. They are actually quite social animals, at least out here, and definitely worth getting out here for. So we have reached something called the Grotta. Yeah, also a tourist spot, not that many tourists, and it's a bit special. Look around, there's not plenty of tourists here, there's ample room, most of the people around us are Czechs, so yeah, a fairly good spot. And that leads us to the awkward conversation, because by now I have gotten to at least the 5 stars, as far as I am calculating. But has Prague lost its what do you call it, soul? I believe so, especially in the center of town. I think it's worth a visit, it should be said that. But Prague as a town, it is not the same as just 10 years ago. It is more, in the center of town, it's more of, yeah, an amusement park. It's all about having fun. It's people drinking, that you don't do in an amusement park, but it's about an adult amusement park, you can call it. But as soon as you get out to some of the more remote attractions, you start to get a sense of this feeling. You start to get back into it. So I hope that Prague will take it serious. I hope that they will not lose their soul. And I hope that this beautiful city will reclaim its spot as one of the coziest travel spots, because it's not cozy anymore. But you still have to visit it. And I will recommend that you follow us as we travel towards Petrin Tower tomorrow. You can see it right there, so I'll be seeing you right over there.